Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on an Xbox One S. We're going to open it up, clean it, and repaste it. It's a little tricky over here by the sticker, but I'm going to do my best to try not to break it. It is very easy to break. If you want to save your sticker, we're going to put some IPA on it. We're going to try to take it off. Just give it a second to soak up. And then you just want to use something flat and try to get under it. And it already failed. Alright, well, at least we tried. Didn't try hard enough though. If you were able to save yours, then you would just set that to the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to use some pry tools, plastic, and you're just going to put them right around the edge of the bottom black piece. And you can use another one to try to get right up under it. And you're just going to pull it away from the console. And then you want to work around the edge, go around the console. And then if you have a small little flathead, it actually works out a lot better. Put a pick tool or something right next to the plastic so it doesn't damage it, and then just put your flathead in between the two and just pry it gently. And it should easily pop all of those tabs right off. As you can see, I'm not really struggling with it too much, so it's not bad at all. This little area was a little bit harder. Just find that sweet spot. If it's not coming off, then just move over to the side a little bit. This area is giving me a little bit of trouble here. There it goes. Continue going around the front. Pop it all off. Go around to the other side. Now the back where the sticker is, that's going to be the hardest part. The plastic is very thin. It can break very easily. So take your time with it. Oh, and it already broke. All right, awesome. Try to get this little part out here. Mine's already broken, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop it off. But you can kind of see there's it kind of has like a little bit of a tab to it. So you need to separate the two, the white from the black, and then pop it off. Flip it over. Once you get that off, you're going to have all these green screws. We're going to take these ones off first. These are going to be the Torx bits. I believe it was a T10. T10 to get the green ones off. Once you have those off, go ahead and set them to the side. We can take off the top white part. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold out, just like how I'm doing here. You're going to fold out the sides of the top and just gently do it. Don't do it too much where it breaks it, but just gently pull up on it and just flex it out just like that, and it'll pop right off. Look at all that dirt. So once you pull up on the two sides, flare it out, and then the top will just come right off. Now we're going to be down to the chassis, the Wi-Fi module, which is right here, the Wi-Fi chip, and then you're going to have the chip on the front. All right, so now we're going to be switching to a T8. I'm going to pop that on, and that's going to get the Wi-Fi chip off. It's just 3 screws. You're going to take those off. Just be gentle with it. The chip is very fragile, and it is easy to break. Once you get those off, set them to the side. Now the chip is held in by that little plug right there, so just be gentle when you're pulling it off. Don't pry it off. It just slides right out. And then we're going to move over to the front power button and the front plate. You have 4 screws. Now again, there's a little bridge that I'm going to show you here in a second that it plugs into right under the disk drive. Once you get the 4 screws out, you cannot just pull on this chip. It will break. It's very thin at this point. And I'm going to show it to you guys here in a second. I'm going to get this last screw. So right here is where I was talking about where it's plugged in. And right where my thumb is the little bridge right there. So that part will break very easily. So you just need to be really careful right there. It's not hard to get out, but if you're not paying attention, you could break it. We're going to move back over to the T10, and we're going to get the silver screws out. Take note, and I would recommend actually marking them with the Sharpie of which screws go where. It just makes it a little bit easier, and so that way you don't have to go back and forth on the video and you end up getting lost trying to put all the screws back in. They are marked, but I would just recommend doing it yourself. Just put a little Sharpie. I do greatly apologize. With every video I try to get a little bit better, but my camera unfortunately died, and so I didn't record taking these little screws out. But if you go back, you can see where all the screws were, and you can remove them. They're all around here on the edges, in the middle, and right there. And then there's these little black screws that I took off for the X clamps, and there's 4 of them, and they're going to be right here. So I apologize about that, but that's all I did was I just took the screws out. Once you have those removed, then you can go ahead and flip it back over to the fan side. And you're just going to pull up on the top end, just straight up. There you go. There's nothing holding it down. You can see all the dirt and debris. Okay, right in front of the fan, there's going to be a little post. There's 2 posts, and they're bridged in the middle. You're just going to pull them straight up. There's little tabs on them. You can just pull them right out. We're going to set that to the side. Don't forget it when you're reinstalling. Next, we're going to move over to the hard drive. Hard drive just lifts right up, and it is connected to the motherboard right below with these 2 cables. You can see them right here. So you just lift up on the hard drive, and then just gently pull those up. Do not pull on the wires. You can, obviously, if you really need to, but I always like to use like a pliers or something, but just be very gentle. Don't damage the wires. This one was a little bit more stubborn than the other cables, the SATA connection. But just work it back and forth and it'll come out. There you go. Set that to the side to clean, and then next we're going to do the disk drive. Same thing, 2 connectors. Just unplug these. And then that's going to lift right up. Next, we're going to do the power supply. So this one you need to be careful. You're going to pull up on one end, but mine's getting a little stuck here. There are different variations of the power supply for different Xbox One S's. As you can see, mine has a little post right here for the screws, and it was getting caught on the capacitors. So you need to be really careful when you're pulling it up. Don't just pull it up and force it, because if you break one of those capacitors, your motherboard is done. Unless you know how to solder and you can fix it, then you're golden. But chances are you're watching this video because you are not tech savvy and you need some help, which is okay. But that's why I'm here to tell you, be careful, don't break it. There's a little tab right here. You could just pull on that with a set of pliers, squeeze it, and then pull it up. And then that's going to unplug. We're going to turn it around here. There's going to be a clip by the front USB. Needle nose pliers does help here, but you're just basically going to push up from the bottom on that. They have like little tabs on them that clip on to the chassis, and you just push it up. It'll pop right off. Just be careful not to break it or bend it. Once you have that out of the way, we can go ahead and take the motherboard out. Just gently pull it up, and there you go. We can set the bottom half to the side for cleaning. There are ways to get the X-clamps off. Without the special tool, but the special tool makes it so much easier. I'd just recommend getting the tool. It's worth the money if you're going to be doing this. That way you don't damage anything. But basically, the two prongs on the other end right here are just going to slide not in between the motherboard, but in between the slot on the X-clamp. You can see where it kind of used and it bends downward. You're going to slide the tool in between those two posts, and then you're gently going to pull up. That's going to pop the X-clamp right off, and the downward pressure is put on the X-clamp, not on the motherboard, and it comes off that easy. So I can kind of show you here, see if the camera will catch it, but you're going to put it in between the two right here. It does not go in between the motherboard and the X-clamp. Does not go right there, it goes right there. We can set that to the side. Once you have that off, you pull up on the motherboard, and then you're, oh, whoops, my fan's still connected. If you haven't already taken off the X-clamp, you can unplug your fan. That'll make it a lot easier. I forgot. And then the fan's just going to come right off. Look at that. Man, that thing is gunked up. Enjoy this time lapse of me cleaning. And this would be about the time that you're going to be cleaning as well. You can use some IPA and a Q-tip. Gets all of the old thermal paste off. I have OCD for keeping things clean, so I'm going to get every little bit. I'm also going to go around the motherboard and get all the little dust and make sure everything looks good and it's nice and clean. I took everything outside off camera, and I cleaned it all with an air compressor. I still have to clean the thermal paste off of this. Let me do that really quick. It's just a plastic razor blade. It's not a metal one. Power supply is nice and clean. That is very important to keep it clean. So now we got the motherboard. I'm going to be using MX4 thermal paste. Not for any particular reason. I got a good deal on it. I like it. It works. And it's got a good reputation. So we're going to put some right in the middle, and then I'm going to spread it out. If you're not comfortable spreading it out, you could put a pea-size drop right in the middle, and then once you put the CPU, or not the CPU, the heatsink back on, it will spread it out itself. But I have this paranoia that if I put it on, it's not going to spread out evenly and it's going to fail. So I just do it myself. Just going to clean up the little excess around the edge. Pay attention to the orientation with the corner right here with your fan plug. It's going to go on this corner of the board. And then we're going to set that down. And once you do, plug it back in just so I don't forget. Put your thumb right in the center, push it against the motherboard, and then flip it over. Keep pressure on it. Don't let it move around. Don't let it fall. If it falls, reapply the thermal paste. You're going to hold it with one hand, grab your X clamp, and you're going to make sure that they fit right into the grooves. From here, you're going to apply pressure where my thumb is, and you're going to press down. You don't have to do it the same way that I did it. I realized that my thumbs don't reach that way, so probably work better if you did it on the other side, but it's not hard. As you can see, I got it on right there. Now with everything clean, we can bring your bottom half of the chassis back. The USB is going to go towards the front right here. Make sure all the ports are lined up. You want to be gentle when you're putting it back in. Don't force it. If you break the corners or something on the motherboard, you're going to be out on Xbox. There you go. Just drop it in. Make sure that everything's lined up and the board is seated properly. Grab your metal clip. We're going to slide that back on. If you're having trouble with it going back on and it's not seating all the way properly, that means that the motherboard is not seated properly. So just double check that. Once you have that, we're going to grab the disk drive. We're going to slide that back in. There's two posts on the back. There's one right here, one right there. Those are going to go into the motherboard. And then the front will line with the grommet. You'll kind of see the indentation from it where it was previously. And then you go ahead and plug those back in. Next, we're going to do the power supply. So the same way that you pulled it out, you're going to put it back in. So we're going to plug it in first. And then we're going to go this back side. You might have to pull away on the back of the plastic a little bit if you need some extra room. And that's just going to drop right in. Same thing with the posts on the bottom of the power supply. There's special spots for them on the motherboard. And then we're going to plug the hard drive back in. And then that's just going to sit right there. They might be a little bit loose. That's okay. Don't forget your two posts with the bridge. We're going to put those right back here in the front. You'll kind of see where the plastic has the tabs and indentations right here that I just pointed at. And those are going to go right back into place. And then there's two spots on the motherboard where the posts sit into. Once you have those on, then you can put the top back on. Grab it and we're going to flip it back over. Make sure it doesn't all fall apart. And we're going to do the heatsink screws first, the 4 black ones. So if you need a second, just press pause. And then if you marked all your silver screws earlier, go to put your silver screws back in. I kind of sped it up because I figured maybe people don't want to watch me put all the screws back in, especially if you already marked it, you know where everything goes. So if that's the case, go ahead and pause it, and then you can put all your screws back in. Right now we're just doing the silver ones and the black ones, and then we're gonna move over to the Wi-Fi chip. You're gonna plug that back in and put in the 3 screws. Do not over tighten them. Just gently snug them down, and just make sure that the chip is seated properly on the plug. Once you have that, we're going to move over to the front chip. Go ahead and plug that in. And then I like to start closest to the plug with the screw. Do not over tighten them. Go ahead and put those 4 screws back in. Okay, now we can go ahead and put the top cover back on. And it's just going to clip into place. Nothing special to it. Just put it over. Make sure that it's all lined up properly with the back panel. Right here. Just make sure that they're not overlapping. Put those all back in, and then we're going to do the green screws. If you forgot where they go, this is a good time. There's one in the corner right here off camera. And then you can go ahead and pause it, and you can kind of see where they are. So we're going to put the green screws back in. Right here, you're going to see it's like a little post, and that's going to go right into that hole on the corner of the Xbox, so it can only go on one way. Once you have all the screws back in, we're going to put the bottom part of the casing back on. And that's it. You're all done. Just press it into place, clip it back in, make sure everything's nice and seated properly. And you've just cleaned and repasted your Xbox One S for many years to come, as long as you did it right.